We have directors of different communities. So there's like the sales leaders, the AEs, the SDRs. So we're running event-based programming around the different challenges that each of those kind of subgroups will encounter. And there are community mobilizers kind of within each community that are reaching out and connecting with people, being like, hey, how are you doing? What challenges are you facing? What do you need help with? Mm-hmm. And we're kind of telling programming around, what those needs of the community are. Did a great training recently. Quick example, Kevin Dorsey, the homie, came on in, did a training on comp negotiation as an AE, and really broadened it beyond that, just comp negotiation in general. And we were seeing people get like 5-figure raises coming out of that training, just getting like drastically underpaid and overlooked, right? For bringing the same level of great work to the table that other people were. Yeah. And so, I can think of the amount of people that have gotten jobs, people breaking into the industry, getting their first SDR gig. Think of people, finding into their AE gig or being an SDR, getting to now be exposed to AE type things, AE type trainings, AE type thoughts, AE type problems, and get familiar with the role before they kind of step into it. So they're having a better understanding of what they're going to executives and asking for and getting that promotion. So lots of just really wild stories. But yeah, that's kind of like the nutshell of how we got here and what we're kind of doing now. Mm-hmm. But I think it's broadly true. I could point to any number of statistics talking about how, income disparity at any given role between a Black person and a white person, like you can predict that exists. Like I can note, I'm in Canada, for example. I know that a Black college graduate is going to make 80 cents to what a white college graduate, same credentials, will make in that role. Like I can crunch these sorts of stats out. I can also know that like the legacy effects of you keeping a certain crew of people out the game for a certain window, the game being the financial socioeconomic gain of the game. They're probably not going to know the people that came from, the trust fund sort of background to be able to be in a room with VCs, to be able to know how do I, for example, navigate compensation negotiation, but also like when you get opportunity and you come from a group of people or maybe like a family history or whatever, where opportunity hasn't been the norm for you, you're willing to tolerate things that shouldn't be tolerated because you're not quite sure when the next opportunity is going to come, or you feel like you've just got to be grateful for the thing in your hands. So the amount of times that I've seen Black sales reps start to get perspective on what is intolerable about their situation and go, whoa, like my boss mandating that, we can't talk, about anything to do with social issues, with anyone at work, like I'm supposed to just watch someone get shot in the street, have my manager ask me how I'm doing, but not talk about because I don't want to like contravene this sort of rule. But that's not just like something I have to tolerate. Like there are companies that I could maybe work at that I'm not expected to leave a significant chunk of who I am at the door. And I can, be the fullness of myself in that role. Seeing people like have those light switches go on and leave workplaces. This is one of the things that really sticks out to me. I remember in a cookout, which is like a monthly event that we do where we get everybody together and just like chop it up, share challenges, share successes, share opportunities, have a good time. I saw a woman talking about like how walked over she was by her boss in terms of things that she was asked to do that were way beyond the scope of her position, not being recognized or rewarded for those things, being neglected, disrespected, and experiencing racism in the workplace, and not really having any checks and balances on that. And she just kind of took it because she didn't know what else to do. And to voice that in a room of other Black people, and someone was like, yo, you sound like you're doing great stuff. Do you want to work for me? And her in that moment, I saw her real time get like, oh, I don't have to be in a situation where I'm not getting rightly rewarded for the value I'm bringing to the organization. And I'm being walked over on these issues of race. Like that's not a one-off story. That's consistently happening in this community, which on one hand is heartbreaking that it's a common experience, but on the other hand is exciting because we as Black people like don't have to settle for what we shouldn't have to settle for anymore. And that comes with perspective, which comes through social networks, which if you haven't been in sales for the culture before and you don't come from a background where that stuff is prominent for you, you might not even know what you were missing out on. So I think that that's like one of the things I get most excited about anyways.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.